our first appearance and you have not yet watched the Advisement of Rights video, go ahead and take the time right now to do it, because I'm going to do some people in the courtroom first. You can find the Advisement of Rights video at commercecity.com. You'll scroll down the page. You'll see somebody that looks like me on the screen. Just hit the arrow on there, and that'll play the advisement video for you. It's mandatory that you watch that before I call your case. For the people in the courtroom, when I call your case, I'm going to ask you to come forward to one of the 3 stations. While you're there, I need you to speak loudly and clearly. One of my responsibilities today is to make sure that everything that you say gets properly recorded. After you're done, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you exit through the double doors at the rear of the courtroom. I'm going to start with Jesus Rivera. If you'll come to Station 1, please. Good afternoon. All right, first I have a request to set aside the default that entered when you failed to appear on March 11th. I'm granting that request. The default is ordered vacated. All right, the second document I have says that if you plead guilty to the added or reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on January 27th of 2021 at 11 o'clock in the morning in the area of Turnberry Parkway and Highway 2, that's just north of 104th here in Commerce City, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the Advisement of Rights video? And let me go over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on January 27th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right, your scheduled fine was $80. I'm going to reduce your fine to $40 plus surcharges. When you go to the windows in the lobby, my clerks are going to tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows in the lobby. See my clerk. Okay, Jessup McGowan, if you would come to station number 2, please. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, on February 22nd of 2021 at 12:05 in the afternoon in the area of 101st and Highway 2 here in Commerce City, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the Advisement of Rights video? All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. Giving up your rights during the course of your trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle on February 22nd of 2021 here in Commerce City, a 2-point violation. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right, you have an excellent driving record. Your scheduled fine was $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $40 plus surcharges and court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they'll tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Any questions? Go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerk. I know, it's just like almost there. All right. You, if you would unmute your device.
Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Just a second. Mr. McGarvey, could you go ahead and mute your device, please?
Sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay. All right.
Hey, I'm Adam. Oh, hi, it's Mark. I'm not sure if everybody can hear me right now.
Yeah,
I was just curious, what is the sentence on this case?
Yeah, Mr. Kinsman, can you hold off for just a second? My clerk's going to need to mute you. I'm in open court doing somebody else right now.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. Sorry.
All right, Miss Yu, are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on February 24th of 2021 at 1:43 in the afternoon in the area of Highway 85 at Mill Road. That's at like 64th Avenue. It's where the railroad overpasses are on Highway 85. The city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, Your Honor. And also, I want you to know that I didn't see the sign that day. I was getting off work from the school clinic to home from Denver area to Greeley. So I asked the cop, I thought the Highway 85 speed limit was 65 miles per hour, which he called me as 66. And then he told me the speed limit was supposed to be 45. So I just want you to know I'm not a dangerous driver by any means. I just didn't know.
Yeah, that's fine. The reason the police officer set up there is because you will have just passed the 45-mile-an-hour speed limit zone just north of 60th Avenue. That's why they set up at about 65th Avenue, because you will have passed the sign. I'm sorry that you didn't see it, but it's there and it's clearly visible, okay?
Okay, I know now. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I have to go over some of those rights with you as part of what I have to do today. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge, you're giving up your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're giving up your right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea today, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on February 24th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I will accept your guilty plea. Is there anything else you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
Yeah, I just want you to know that I've served the patients for more than 500 in US and also around the same number globally overseas. So I'm graduating from the medical perspective, getting ready for my board exams, and I'm kind of broke. So if you could lower the fine, I really appreciate you.
Okay, I will. Actually, and I'm going to do it not so much for those reasons, but because you have a good driving record. Your scheduled fine was $120. I'm going to reduce it to $60 plus surcharges and court costs. After you leave the meeting, sometime later today or tomorrow, my clerks will reach out to you by email. They will tell you the total, and if you need them to create a payment plan for you, they'll do that. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
We're going to do the prisoner now? I thought we would wait till after I was done, but that's okay. Oh, do you want to? No, that's okay. You can do it. All right. For the people that are on Zoom, I have a matter that I have to take care of with a person that's in custody. So I'm going to mute my Zoom call because the jail uses WebEx. So don't be in a panic because you can't hear me anymore. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I just took care of one thing by WebEx, and now I have another WebEx thing that I need to do in my office. So court's going to be off the record and in recess for probably about 10 minutes, and then I'll resume.
Okay.
I need to talk to Mr. Kinsman's attorney for a second. If I was actually Batman, this would all be easier.
It would be easier. That's right.
I'd just fly over to your house.
We're gonna go back to the Batcave. That's right.
Well, Mark, Mr. Kinsman, are we good?
Yeah, he's gonna take it, Adam.
Okay, so you just have to go through the process with the judge.
Okay, sounds good.
And Mr. McGarvey, we're continuing your case, so you have to go back with the judge. So the only person I really need to see is Miss Hutton on Mr. Graham's case.
Right.
Hey, Adam, can I clarify one thing with you?
Yeah.
So if he completes all this, he would just be eligible for expungement right away, right?
Correct.
But it wouldn't be, the expungement wouldn't be automatic though, right?
Actually, I think it is. Once I
Oh, is it?
dismiss the case, I think the court just automatically does it.
Oh, okay, that's even better. Okay, great. Okay, now do I, just because I'm not too familiar with the whole virtual system, do they?
I think everyone stay where you are.
Okay,
And the clerk needs to move me and Miss Hutton.
okay. Gotcha.
Oh, you didn't get a little thing that says join the breakout room. I did, and then it booted me out. Booted me.
Hello.
Yes, dear. Okay, well, I haven't gotten the invite to go into number 2.
Oh.
I need me, Miss Hutton. Okay, here it is.
All right, court's back on the record, April 1st, 2021. Okay, did you wipe them down? Did you guys wipe them down? Okay, so I can go back to one. All right, Kevin Flugler, if you'll come to, Fluger, if you'd come to station 1. Good afternoon. Okay, I have a document that alleges that since October 1st of 2019, in the area of 6330 East 71st Place here in Commerce City, that you violated the city ordinance regarding allowing the accumulation of garbage and trash on your property, inoperable vehicles, you're storing property outdoors where in a zoning area where it's prohibited, parking vehicles on an unapproved surfaces, and you have unclassified uses on your property. Those are all city ordinance violations. Do you understand what you're being accused of doing? All right, the city attorney said that he went over all of those various laws with you. Did he go over those with you? Okay, good. He also says that he wants to give you a chance to bring your property in compliance, so he wants to set this matter over for a pretrial conference. Do you agree to do that? Okay, give me just a second. All right, we're going to set your case over for a pretrial conference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to order you to bring your properties into compliance, and we're going to set the initial pretrial conference in approximately 8 weeks. That way you'll have time. Okay, so today is the 1st. 2, 3, 4. So we're going to set your next hearing to May 27th at 1:15 in the afternoon. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they will give you a copy of the reminder notice of the next court date and time. If you ask them, they can give you copies of the reports that have been generated so far regarding your case. That way you can see what it is that's been detailed that brings your property out of compliance, okay? That way you'll know what you need to do to get it up to date for the next hearing. I'm going to contact our people here in Commerce City. They're probably going to come out somewhere either on the 26th or the morning of the 27th so that they can do a status report for me, and then we'll see you back that afternoon. Okay? Do you have any questions? Okay, go to the windows in the lobby. Make sure you stop there to see my clerks. All right. Jimmy Day, if you would come to station number 2, please. Good afternoon. You don't need to really bend over if you just keep your voice up. All right, let's see what I got here. All right, I have a document that alleges that on February 22nd of 2021, at about 8:23 in the evening, in the area of 86th and Tower Road, that you that you drove without proof of insurance when required, and you were provided a warning and not charged with speeding 10 to 19 miles over the speed limit. So the only issue that's really in front of me is the no proof of insurance charge. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? All right, the city attorney says that you want time to investigate the insurance issue. Is that correct? All right, we'll go ahead and set your case then. Did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right, good. All right, when you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to give you a reminder notice of the new court date and time. Make sure that you confer with your insurance agent or whoever's insurance agent. Bring everything with you that you think you're going to need, and hopefully we'll resolve this at your next court appearance. Do you have any questions? All right, go to the windows, see my clerk. They'll give you that reminder. I just did this one yesterday. It was yeah, okay, I FTA'd him yesterday. All right, I'll fix it. No, this is a different guy. Yeah, well, it's a motion now. I didn't get, yeah. It's Mr. Anderson. He was the first guy on yesterday's docket. Yep, okay. So give me a second while I look at what's going on. All right, Dylan Anderson, go ahead and unmute your device. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, you're going to need to either turn up your volume or speak a little louder. I can barely hear you. All right. I entered a default against you yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and vacate that default. We'll deal with your case the way it's set up for today, okay? I'm not able to hear you.
Your Honor.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Okay. So the default is ordered vacated. I have a document today that says that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you. And this is from February 11th of 2021 at 11:51 in the afternoon. I'm sorry, in the morning, in the area of 75th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge today, you're giving up your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witness that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original speeding charge, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, Honor, they have not.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir, they have not.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on February 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should consider before I impose the sentence against you?
No, I apologize for missing my court date yesterday. I had written it down as today.
Well, it's
So-
good that you got it taken care of right away. It
Yes.
minimizes the damage, if you will. All right.
Yeah,
you have-
I called the
Yeah, but-
clerk as soon as I found out, so
Yep.
figured it out. So, yeah.
All right. You have a good driving record. Your scheduled fine was $80. I'm going to reduce your fine to $40 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to be in contact with you by email either later today or sometime tomorrow. They'll tell you what the total is, work out payment arrangements. And I'm looking where you live. You know, Tower Road, Highway 2, sections of Highway 85, Quebec Parkway. They're all 45 zones when you come down this way. So just keep that in mind. You shouldn't be going that fast anywhere on the north side, okay?
Yeah, I got stuck in that weird little 35 mile per hour just following traffic.
All right.
I was the last guy in the line.
Keep that in mind, that it slows down once you get into the old part of the city, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Do you guys want me to delete the fate sheet I put in yesterday? Since we're doing this today? Just leave it in? Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right then. Oh, see, 2 pages. Yeah, it's 2 pages. That's the magic number. All right. All right. Aiden Kinsman, or counsel for Aiden Kinsman?
Yes, here, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is your own ticket, not a client's ticket?
No, it's my client. I don't know why I'm coming up as Aiden Kinsman, Your Honor. That's my client. I'm Mark Andrews.
Okay, go ahead and make your entry then.
Yeah, Mark Andrews, on behalf of the defendant, Aiden Kinsman, registration number 39709.
39709. Okay,
Yes.
I have a proposed would you waive further reading and advisement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and is Mr. Kinsman joining us or no?
Yes, I can see him on my screen, Your Honor. I'm not sure if you can see him on yours.
I don't see him on mine.
I'm right here, sir.
Oh, okay, now I can.
Okay.
All right, you're fine. And you're 16 years old, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me just a second. I need to reduce this so I can pull that ticket back up. Okay, I have a document that alleges that on January 24th of 2021 at 1:24 in the morning, in the area of 9324 East 108th Avenue, that you committed the offense of harassment by telephone. Aiden, do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Mr. Andrews, the proposed disposition I have for today is that we're going to set this matter over for a pretrial conference. If Mr. Kinsman completes 16 hours of useful public service, a Making Better Choices class, has no contact with Brenda Mesa and Julio Tarango, and writes a sincere letter of apology and commits no further violations, at the pretrial conference, as everything is in order, I can dismiss this case. Mr. Andrews, is that your understanding, the proposed disposition?
That is my understanding, Your Honor. I do have a question, Your Honor, if I could ask the court. I did speak with the city attorney, Mr. Gollum, and he had mentioned that if if Aiden completes the deferment program, the 16 hours of useful community service, the one-day Making Better Choices class, no further contact with the alleged victims, and writes a letter to Mr. Mesa, or Miss Mesa rather, and Mr. Tarango, he would be his case would be expunged right away. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Right, well, what
Would he
happens
be-
is I'd have to enter the order of dismissal, then we have to wait the statutory period, and then it's automatically expunged without him having to take any further action.
Okay, how long is the statutory period, Your Honor?
I believe it's 30 days.
Okay, 30, and then it is automatically expunged?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was my only concern, Your Honor.
All
Okay.
right. And so is the proposed disposition, as I've stated it, correct?
No, it's correct.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Kinsman, Mr. Kinsman, do you understand what it is that you're being offered?
Yes, sir.
And is this in fact how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, Mr. Andrews has worked out a fairly favorable disposition for you, but let me just ask, have you had enough time to consult with him regarding the rights that you have and your options on this charge?
Yes, sir.
And are you satisfied with the service advice and representation that he's given you thus far?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to set this case over for a pretrial conference. My clerks are going to contact Mr. Andrews by email. They'll give him a referral to the Making Better Choices class. They'll send him the details of the proposed disposition. They're also going to send him the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not have to be done in Commerce City. It's not geographically restricted in any way. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you pick to do the community service must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. I won't accept it if you simply do free work for friends, neighbors, relatives, or for a for-profit business. So make sure the place that you pick is a legitimate nonprofit, do the work, Get the form filled out. You and your attorney can make sure we get the form for the next pretrial conference date. We'll also need the certificate of completion. It's going to be your responsibility to make sure we get that, as well as the letter of apology. And stay out of trouble. If everything's in order, the case gets dismissed, and at the appropriate time, it'll get expunged from your record. Mr. Kinsman, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Mr. Andrews, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email with all of the stuff that I just covered with your client, either today, more likely tomorrow. Is there anything else I need to address on this case?
Just a quick question, Your Honor. In terms of the letter of apology, any other, does the court have any other requirements? Does it have to be a certain, minimum or maximum length?
I believe Mr. Gollin probably wanted it to at least sound sincere.
Sure.
I don't control that part because that's part of the plea disposition. All right, so let's pick a date. Normally, we go out 6 weeks, so I'd be looking at May 13th, May 19th, or May 20th at 1:15. Do any of those dates
Okay.
work for you?
Bear with me just a second, Your Honor.
Sure.
May 13th does work for me, but let me ask you this though, Your Honor, because Mr. Kinsman is a young guy and he's getting ready to apply to college pretty soon. Is there any chance that we could do it any sooner than the middle of May? Just so, I think he's going to get on it right away and try and get this accomplished pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and leave this as May 13th at 1:15, and you can
Okay.
always contact my clerks and add on. We do court every Wednesday and every Thursday, so being an add-on's easy. Okay?
Okay, gotcha. May
Especially in the
13th at
afternoon.
1:15?
Yep, so May 13th at 1:15 for the next pretrial conference.
Okay.
Okay? All right, if you don't have any additional questions, then you and Mr. Kinsman are free to leave the meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Your Honor, we're still just on the Weir matter, waiting to get another date into the future.
Okay. I actually don't know who's next. Let me take a peek at the next one that's on there.
Okay,
Oh, I have
My-
Ken Weir next.
my apologies.
That's okay.
No, perfect.
Yep, good timing. All right, give me just a
Yes.
second. Give me one, well, this one's still a paper case, so give me just a moment. All right. All right, I have Mr. McGarvey, registration number 48363, appearing on behalf of Mr. Weir. And Mr. Weir, are you on the line as well?
I think he's muted. Yeah, he's there under my name
Yes, sir.
as well. There he is.
Okay, there you go. All right. And would you waive further reading and advisement, Mr. McGarvey?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
We would
give me
waive.
just a moment. All right, no, looks like all we're doing is setting this over for a pretrial conference, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Mr. Weir, are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, sir.
Okay, good. All right, so that's taken care of. Okay, and he doesn't, neither one of you has indicated to me, or he didn't indicate to me on the written rule 211 how much time you need. Can you give me an idea how much time you need?
Your Honor, I just basically need to get a look at the discovery, so 20 to 30 days.
Take a look at your calendar for April 29th at 1:15.
Good.
Does that work for you,
I
Mr.
believe well, I'm waiting for my calendar to populate. I know I have something that day, but I believe it's in the morning, and I apologize. My calendar is going very slow. No, unfortunately, I have a preliminary hearing in Denver at 1:30 on the 29th.
Okay, we could do either the 28th, or we can go to the following week, May 5th or 6th.
Okay, the 28th doesn't work. Is April 27th a possibility, or?
No, we only have courts on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, Wednesdays and Thursdays, my apologies. Okay, so then we'd be looking at
May 5th or 6th.
May 5th or 6th. Either of those works for me.
All right, so let's do May 5th at 1:15.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And when you leave the meeting, my clerks will get with you by email either later today or tomorrow. Let them know you wish the discovery, and they'll make that available to you as well, Mr. McGarvey.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Ware, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you for your
Okay, well,
time.
keep in contact with your attorney, Mr. McGarvey. He'll be getting this information in the near future, and then we'll see you both back on May 5th at 1:15 for the pretrial conference.
Yes, sir.
Go
Thank you,
ahead-
Your
Go
Honor.
ahead and leave the meeting. Ms.
Yes.
McGarvey, you can go
Yes,
ahead and
sir.
leave the meeting as well.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. All right, Cooper Graham.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Patricia Hutton, 35139. And Mr. Graham is on there. Cooper, can you unmute?
Okay, give me a second. I need to
Oh, okay.
create a second sheet. Hopefully he'll unmute by the time I finish that. Alma, I'm starting to run a little low on the second page. Thank you. No rush. I've still got enough to get through a while, but come on. Mr. Graham, could you unmute, please?
Yeah,
There you go. And how are we proceeding today, Ms. Hutton?
Mr. Graham was able to get his class done, but he was having trouble finding a place and finding time to do his community service. And so we were hoping that he could have another 30 days to get his community service done. He found the Mississippi Baptist Church that will let him do community service there, and then he can get it taken care of, and by the next time we'll be done with all of this.
Okay, so he still owes the full 24 hours of community service?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Hutton, if you would check your calendar for April 29th. I know it's not quite a month, but it's close.
Yeah, that would work.
All right. All right, we'll reset this matter for a pretrial conference on April 29th of 2021 at 1:15 in the afternoon. My clerks are going to send Ms. Hutton the form and the reminder notice of the new date, Mr. Graham. So you stay in contact with her. Let's get this stuff done so we can wrap the case up at your next appearance. Okay?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Hutton, is there anything else I need to address on this one?
Not on this case, no. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Graham, you're free to leave the meeting. Ms. Hutton,
Thank
is this
you.
the last one you have as well?
Yeah, this is it for me too.
Okay, my clerks will reach out with you with the forms and the notices. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
The 29th at 1:15, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Give me a minute. All right, court's off the record. I wore those on Sunday when I played, or Saturday when I played golf.
For some reason, the computer's not updating the score, but in the top of the first, so far, Herman Marquez is at 23 pitches. Either he takes an hour and a half between every pitch, or it's not updating. The Dodgers have two hits.
I know I have.
Pitches, that's not good.
No, it's not. I could have sworn I had the Rockies on this one.
It's gonna be hard to zoom and rock. I think we'll have one Juby left. Do you know who Mark Andrews is, by the way, that lawyer?
I'm sorry, who?
The lawyer Mark Andrews, he was on with the kid, the telephone harassment kid.
No, I don't remember him.
Well, he's married to Isabel, county court judge.
Polaris? Oh, I would have known him.
He's actually the nicest guy in the world.
This is what I just did, so that's not it. Oh, I know where I have it. I've loaded Edge, and it's on my Edge page. There. Zero, zero. Kershaw pitching, Charlie Blackmon at bat.
No, he made it through the first.
Okay, with Charlie Blackmon batting, Trevor Story was picked off and caught stealing at second base. And so now that's the end of the inning. Okay, so I have nobody else left on my Zoom. No. So I can leave the meeting? Hmm?